And we are live. Welcome to our Sunday stream. So, current events. Like the title suggested, the bunker has been busted. We are now officially in the war, I guess. We have now I don't know how this is considered, whether because we're the only ones who could have done these bunker busters. The stealth bombers, they went out and we used a little bit of what's that, where you show them one hand while they're looking at the other, and subterfuge, I think that's what it is. So we bombed the heck out of a Muslim country. Now it's supposedly, allegedly, a terrorist supporting country. So we are doing peace through strength. Walk softly, carry a big stick. That's stoic. I don't know how I feel about this. I think that, first of all, if God says don't kill, he does not give special passes because you do it for the government. Hate to tell you. I mean, it's just the way it is. Whatever you do, it's on you. And then like these dummies who like sign the bombs and stuff like that, I think that they're cursing their own souls, so to speak. Because you're encouraging suffering and death and all of that. So I'm against it no matter what. I don't care who it is. I don't care what the reason is. I think that, God told us, to love thy neighbor and to not to kill. And I don't think that there's exceptions. I think that was the whole problem with the Catholic religion, because they allowed a Roman Empire to influence their religion. They're the ones who put together the New Testament. It was the Roman, some Roman group that came together. And and I don't know the answer to this, so it'd be interesting to find out. But why is there a book inside the current Bible that's called Romans? Do you really think that God was all about the Romans? I don't. So, I mean, like I said, I'm all about the Old Testament. It hasn't been butchered up, and it's been around forever, and all that stuff, and even the Quran. The Quran is somebody who was experiencing A1, they wrote it, and, so it's God's words. But the Holy Bible, I believe that there's a lot of stories and there's a lot of good information in the Holy Bible, but it's been altered too many times. If something is truly A1, you don't alter it. And if it is A1, then you would be able to, it would translate well. It would, look at, like I said, look at the Tonka or the Torah. If you read the Torah, there's all this numerology that you can do with it. And there's, just, it's divinely inspired. That's the one thing that you could definitely say is that. But the New Testament, which version are you going to do? There's 5, 6, 7 different versions of the Holy Bible, and then the thing is that it's not complete. The canon is not complete. So I mean, I don't claim to know all the answers, but I do know that God's word is way more than one book. It's way more than one religion, and there is no correct religion. As long as you're worshiping God, that is a correct religion. You don't worship yourself. You observe the Sabbath, only pray to God. There's some universal rules and truths between all the different religions, and we just have to get back to basics. So, I don't have anything against any Muslim. I'm Muslim. I don't have anything against any Muslim country who or any country in general. I don't really care what the religion is. You know, I don't have anything against the Jews. Especially, you know, like in this time, you know, what is it? It's the, you know, two major religions facing off towards each other. And, you know, one is so worried about proving how ferocious they can be. And then the other one is proving what, you know, that they can, don't underestimate me. I mean, that's, you know, that's what I've seen, I guess. So, I mean, like I said, it's a very perilous time right now. I would say pray often, pray relentlessly. We don't need to be in World War III, and we don't need the 10th. I'm thinking of the war. I can't think of it, but it's the coming of it's the religious war. It's the you know, so this is what Iran is hoping for, is that they want World War III. And, you know, I don't know, you know, I say just let the kids grow up. I think they were all a bunch of buffoons. I think that we need to let cooler heads prevail. Was their nuclear program that big of a thing? Maybe. You know, if you're going to, you know, sponsor terrorism, you know, that's not a good thing. But, you know, I don't want to keep being an interventionalist. So I want to, you know, make America great, keep America great. Don't get involved in all this crap. You know, if somebody wants to go fight somebody, we don't need to, you know, we shouldn't be holding their hands. You know, if it's something like this, you know, where we're the only ones capable, of course, don't give them our capabilities. You know, I mean, even though they've been stealing them the whole time anyway, but no, don't give them our stuff. And so it's a hard question. You know, I think that God is sad. You know, I think that, you know, some type of human life was lost. We'll see what the casualties were. We'll figure out all that kind of stuff. And what I don't understand is that, you know, who's to say that they didn't just move all this crap out of there? You know, I mean, you know, yeah, you can't make any more, but, you know, so what do they have? You know, 10 pounds of this crap sitting around. So that's enough for, you know, 100 dirty bombs or something, you know. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's above my pay grade, but it is sad. And, you know, well, here's my thing, is if a country says that we're going to do this, but we don't have the ability to do it, then why'd they start it in the first place? You know, that kind of blows my mind as far as, like, you know, did you know, because they war game this stuff out. They go, well, we'll do this and this and this, and then these people will say this and da 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 da. So, are we being played? And is it easy to play us? You know, I mean, or did we need to show the world that we are not a paper dragon? You know, so I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of lost. You know, it's sad that it happened. You know, I pray for peace. I pray for pain relief. I pray for emotional repair. You know, I think that we need to, you know, get off the war rhetoric, and that's super hard. I mean, the thing is that ever since this even became the starting of something, the bots have been in force. I mean, on every one of these platforms, on Facebook, on TikTok, on X, just, boy, they jump into your comments and they just, you know, oh, la 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 la. I mean, they're complaining about the stupidest stuff, and it's like, why are you jumping in my comments? The hell with you. I'm just deleting your crap. You know, you want to argue? Like, I don't want to argue. I mean, you know, I'm right, you're wrong. I don't need to argue. So that's terrible to to be that way, but it is the truth. I mean, the IQ of these bots that are trying to argue is just silliness and the stuff. And you got to remember, they don't care. They can say the most ridiculous stuff, in the world, and it doesn't matter. Rising sea levels. Okay. Well, here's the stupidity of that. If you get a glass of ice and you put water in it and you put it to the very top of that glass, and the ice is floating off the top of the glass, okay, it's floating on. When that ice melts, does your glass overflow? No, it doesn't, because the weight of the ice is already in the water. So how would melting ice caps raise the sea levels? They're already in the water. I mean, I guess people don't think about little silly stuff, but how long have they been telling us that the sea levels are going to rise? Well, that's physics. It's silly. It's silly that people believe that, because, like I said, you can test it. You can grab a glass and overflow it with ice, and then see if it overflows as it melts, because it does not. So, but simple things that I guess people don't think about, and and then the other thing is that if it's such a concern, why is it that all these multi-billion-dollar corporations and stuff are the ones that are buying all the coastal land? Do you think that they're buying it to lose money? They have more information than you do. They have more information than I do. So why would you think that, I mean, they're the ones who screaming it, saying, yes, you need to sell it, get rid of it before it's a complete loss. Why? So we can buy it. So it's just, it's all about money. You got to always remember that money, 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 the root of all evils. So anyway, all right, let's, I was thinking about having old Nutty come. Did you want to come and talk about, you want to come and sit and talk about whatever you want to?
No.
No? Okay. That's fine. You can say no. All right. So anyway, let's do a ceremonial fire, and then we'll switch over to some Vapna. So, all right, here we go. Let's do the fire thing. Fire, fire, fire. Okay. Oh, look, I'm baby-faced. So I had a pretty powerful protection spell that I needed to cast, so I had to use it. I didn't use the whole thing, but, it looked kind of silly if you just cut off a little piece of it, so. Sometimes it just goes like it's supposed to go. So, like I said, it's it's trying to give me a problem. Okay. All right, so we should have animal sounds going, and we're going to switch over to her camera and setup, and she's going to start reading. However, That was the first 15 minutes. That's all we're going to do on all YouTube because it's way too quiet without some background music. So, YouTube, we love you, but can't risk a, what you call it? You know, those things that you always threaten me with. A copyright claim. I can't do a copyright claim. Hey, hey.